Guess who's back for the Player 4 podcast?
I don't know. Who is it? Oh, it's me. Hi, I am Tristan, a.k.a. Chagrazir on the Rooster Teeth website.
Yeah, you are back, but seriously, it's me, Chaos Black 21, whose actually real name is Alex Jones.
And Malachi, who's now officially Suki Cuba on the Rooster Teeth website.
Yay!
I still have to friend you.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you do. You haven't friended me.
Wait a minute.
Why don't you find me? I mean, you made your profile. You could easily just go and find me. You have my name.
Something's wrong here.
Is it exactly with that?
Something's missing.
Something is missing. You know, again.
Again! We're always short a person. Where do they keep going? Last time it was Alex. This time it's me. Wait. No, I'm here. Never mind. Not me. Who is it?
Now hold on a second. I've only missed one, and that was the last one. I'm very pissed about because I wanted to go a full year of making it.
Yeah, he just wanted to rub in our faces. I went a whole year without missing a single podcast, and I was the person who said I'd never be able to be on podcasts.
You guys were the ones who were saying, well, maybe Alex should be a rotating cast member since he might not be able to come on all the time. We are missing Joseph again.
Missing Joseph. He's off sick. Because his kid got him sick. This is why
you
don't
I don't
have
think he
kids.
takes enough emergency.
We need to send him some emergency.
Like, he's been sick forever. You sure he's not dying?
Well, he hasn't been sick forever. He only just got sick. His kid came in with a cold a bunch. He sneezed all over the house. But no, I mean, he keeps being sick on podcast day.
He proved that if you do something dozens of times, you can come up with a different result.
Is that showing up for the podcast every week?
No. He told us that he had been getting sneezed on and coughed on by Michael for the last 2 weeks, and he finally got sick after all of it. So he hadn't got sick until that, so it just, every single time, finally there was a different result. So therefore it's not insane to keep doing the same thing.
Oh, God. That's not how it works. There are other variables not being taken into consideration. Oh, alright, enough about Joseph and his nasty, gross, sick body.
Whoa! Are we really talking about him being sick, or is there something else, Tristan?
Nothing.
No comment.
No
I
comment.
plead the fifth.
I played the why are we here?
Why are we here?
You ever wonder why we're here?
I was dragged here against my will.
That's not correct. Alright, so I figured that we could just talk about games that we'd played that we liked certain elements of and what we didn't like about it, what we might have done to improve that game is what I was thinking we could do.
What would be the ultimate game?
What would be the ultimate game? And just to be fair about it, for you, since it's a personal preference no matter what.
Sure.
What does make a good game?
I played Xenoblade, which had a lot of fun things.
Back.
Xenoblade Chronicles, which was actually pretty good. The only thing that was I was hoping to have a little more of was the free action of moving around and actually dodging stuff other than actually targeting stuff and just taking damage.
So, you're saying that the combat system could have been a little more interactive.
Yes, I really wanted that, but it's also depending on where they were going with it, because they did have the ability to get in and out of your mech during battle, which was freaking fantastic. So it's you park your mech over there, and you get out and you start fighting a monster. You're like, he's kicking my butt. You walk over, you hop in your mech, you start blowing him up with your mech, and you're like, all right, he's weakened. You hop back out of your mech, and you finish him off.
So, how was this game set up? What was the viewpoint style? Was this a first person? Was this
third person?
Third person over the shoulder? Third person top down?
Top down. The kind of
StarCraft style?
StarCraft. No, not like directly top. Kind of the third person away, over the shoulder, but way back.
Over the shoulder, but way back. So Phantasy Star style.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the reason I wish Monster Hunter loads each individual stage when you hunt a certain monster, but I love Monster Hunter's fighting style. I absolutely would love an actual RPG that was like Monster Hunter, that had like an intense Final Fantasy story with like a Monster Hunter battle style. Because Monster Hunter is a multiplayer game. It's basically it's pretty much an RPG with a 4-player aspect to it. You pretty much you run into a village. The village needs help. You end up helping the village by slaying monsters in the area. You kill the monsters. You gather materials. You make armor and weapons based on that monster, and the stats of the monster reflect the armor you have, which was another good way of knowing what the monster was weak to, because if the armor had like negative to water elemental, you knew that monster was weak to water. So you could go back and use a weapon that was more effective against him and kill him quicker.
But you already made the armor from there.
Well, you could see before you're able to craft it, you can see the stats on it. So if you get like a couple pieces of it, you can see the armor you could make with it, and you can see, oh hey, this armor piece that I could make has a -4 water aspect. So I can take a water elemental weapon and kick this monster's butt. So, and with Monster Hunter, it's completely free action. Like you have you can roll backwards, forwards. Well, you can't really roll backwards. You can roll side to side and forward.
So this is another third-person one.
Mm-hmm.
That's generally swords.
They have bow guns, they have bows. There are quite a few different style weapons, and they keep adding more. So they add a lot of unique weapons. Like each game usually adds 2 to 3 weapons, but the whole aspect of it is just, I like the concept of, you fight the monster once or twice. If you do end up failing, okay, you've seen what the monster kind of does, and you can kind of predict what he's going to do and perfectly dodge him based on your skill. Like, oh, I know he's going to do this one attack. I'm going to stop attacking, move sideways, and start attacking from the side, so he's forced to turn, and then I can, move. You can use your own judgment and skill and beat the enemy. Kind of like that's actually almost kind of like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Which actually, that is that style. I just really have never gotten into that game.
So you really like the third-person kind of combat-oriented games then, huh?
Yeah. Actually, I should really play Dark Souls in those, because that is pretty much what that style is.
Okay. So, what about you, Alex? What kind of games do you usually find yourself playing?
First-person shooters, RPGs, sports. I'm pretty flexible.
Mm.
Well, you have to have a little bit of a flavor.
What do you think you log the most hours in?
What do I log the most hours in? I mean, I probably would log more hours in first-person shooters if I could actually do multiplayer. But
like Fallout 4 was a first-person for the most part. I mean, I know that you can play it in third-person, but most people play Bethesda games first-person, I would imagine.
Yeah. I don't really count Fallout, though, in that category, even though it is a first-person. I just think of it as an RPG. I don't even think of it as a first-person or third-person shooter.
Well, do you play it third-person or first-person?
I play it first-person, but I don't think of it as that. I just think of it as an RPG.
Okay.
Has Alex, have you played the Dead Space or Resistance games?
I have not played. Resistance is strictly PlayStation, and so I never played it.
Yeah, you're an Xbox guy.
Yes. Dead Space I have never played because I don't do horror games. I watch people play horror games.
It's not really too much of a horror.
I watched some of Tristan play Dead Space.
You watched my Dead Space?
I've watched some of it. I need to go and continue watching. I've watched the first few episodes.
I need to put out... I have two episodes that I still need to put up. And then I was thinking that now that I have OBS, which is a much easier way of recording than what I was using before, I think I was going to start again. Not start over, but start doing them again. Pick up where I left off.
But I would say RPGs are what I log in the most right now. Like I Fallout 4, Dragon Age, those kind of games. I probably would say I like the mythical / medieval RPGs more than something like Fallout 4 where there's guns and stuff.
Swords and sorcery are your flavor?
Yes, even though I rarely go the magic route.
Oh.
I usually go the bow route.
With a bow!
But I like the medieval, like, olden times aspect of it, and, like, the older, like, traditional weapons I like more than the newer, advanced, like, say, like, Fallout 4, where you could get, like, plasma guns and that kind of stuff.
So have you ever shot a bow in real life?
I did when I was in middle school. We had an archery, like, 2 weeks of archery.
Oh.
Nice.
How'd you do?
I did pretty well, but, I mean... that we weren't really that far away from the targets. And
so how do you think the...
It was inside, so we didn't have to deal with wind and all of that.
How do you think the bows in the video game stack up against bows in real life?
Bows in video games probably are more powerful than those in real life. I mean, considering when you're playing Skyrim and your bow attack is... Your attack is increased when you do sneak damage, so you kill people one hit. I doubt that would work in real life unless you hit them in certain spots.
I bet I could kill a guy with a single arrow if I wanted to kill a guy.
Hit a certain spot, not if you're just like in the game. If your attack is high enough, you can hit them in the hand and they're dead.
So you don't think I could kill you if I shot you in the hand?
No.
It wouldn't spontaneously cause the rest of your body to explode?
No, I don't think so. Now, maybe if I left it untreated and I was just like, oh, let's just let it bleed all over the place, it might kill me at some point.
So that's a good point. So it's hard to make the comparison, A, because people in real life don't have hit points. And so hitting certain parts of their body would be less effective in real life than it is in the video game. What I was thinking is that in the video game, your arrows fall consistently in the same location all the time. So all you have to do is adjust your screen up to make them go farther, and then sidestep left and right, but they pretty much always land, dead center of the screen. Whereas you shoot a bow in real life, it's very difficult to control where those arrows land.
Yeah, I mean, unless you train. If you train, you can put it pretty close to, like, if you shot one and you tried to shoot one in the same spot after that, if you had the training, you could do that you could get really, really close.
I do archery every week, and I still can't do that.
People have hit points. If I shoot them once, that means and they're still alive, it means they have more than one hit point.
You just haven't reduced them to one. You don't know how many hit points they have, but you know they have at least one. They have more than zero.
Well, now, wait, so how would you factor hit points? Like if you did real life, would it be like a certain amount of blood would equal a hit point?
I don't know, because there are certain injuries that don't draw a lot of blood, but still kill you. Like if you get shot in the brain, you might not bleed a whole lot. You'll probably be dead.
That would just be a status effect.
I mean,
yeah, technically bleed is a status effect.
If memory serves me correctly, the idea of hit points was actually first created by the U.S. Navy, who was trying to kind of categorize enemy and their own ships and say, this ship can take approximately 4 torpedoes, along the hull before it will be completely ruined and sink. Like, if anything before, if it takes 3 torpedoes, it'll probably be able to continue sailing, and we can fix the hulls later. So this ship has 4 hit points, and that ship over there can only take 2 torpedoes, so that's going to have 2 hit points, and that's how the idea of hit points are actually originated, is the story I was told many, many years ago.
Man, look at Tristan hitting us with the knowledge.
Knowledge drop. So, I mean, how many torpedoes do you think you could take, Alex?
I don't know, what's the size of these torpedoes?
I think a normal torpedo
Lego size, or are they like legitimate torpedoes being shot in the water?
I mean, probably shoot it through the air, maybe.
I mean, in all actuality, if we were in the water and a torpedo was coming at me, I'd probably die before the torpedo got there because I can't swim.
Wait, you can't swim, or you just don't swim fast?
I can't swim.
We gotta teach you to swim.
I would say an infinite number of torpedoes because the torpedo would actually have to impact me hard enough to explode. So I'd probably just
Yeah, but the freak at the speed that it's going, if it hits you, you're probably dead there without it exploding.
It just rips you in half. You're done. You're like, oh, there's a torpedo coming at me. It's not like coming at you to, come give you a kiss goodnight. It's not coming at 3 miles an hour. It's like a truck. It's gonna hit you like a truck, even if it doesn't detonate. You got hit by a water truck.
And then once you get hit by it, say you get hit by it, you're probably gonna be carried by it. You're not going to be able to get away from it because of the speed that it's going. And then it'll hit something, and then it'll explode.
Then it'll blow up. You know what? Or it'll just like get eaten by a shark, and you'll go with it.
eat by a shark.
I don't know.
Aren't torpedoes usually the size of sharks, at least?
I mean, I think that a normal torpedo is something like 6 feet long.
Yeah, it's about like the size of a normal shark.
Well,
sharks,
I don't.
12.
They can't be carried by one person, so they're
Depends
pretty.
on the kind of shark.
They're pretty
Yeah,
big.
it's a shark. We're talking about great whites, sure. Yeah,
They're like 25 feet long, or whatever.
No, great whites are not 25 feet long. Great whites are probably around like 10 to 12 feet long. We're not talking about megalodon here.
I don't know. Hang on. Now you got me wanting to look up a shark.
Bleep.
Great white shark. Just bleep it. Mass... Length. 15 to 21 feet. Males are 11 to 13 feet. So they're anywhere from 11 to 21 feet long for the great white shark.
So I was still right about the males.
Yes. But I wasn't terribly far off if you're considering a female. Apparently they're bigger. Watch out for the females.
Females are always bigger.
Yeah, isn't that usually the case in the animal kingdom?
Yeah, like almost always
Spider.
the female insects are bigger than the male
Yeah.
insects, and spiders too.
Thank
Of
God
course,
we're not
we got
like wearing
peacock.
lenses.
Peacock, the male's bigger because it has that plumage.
It's got the plumage, man. It's got the feathers. Watch out
Gotta
for the
show
feathers.
off.
So we are so far off topic.
Gotta show off our bling. Okay, Tristan, what about your games then? What do you...
Well, again, like you, I play a lot of different games. I think that my favorite kind of games would tend to be... I'm definitely a first-person kind of guy. I like games that have a first-person mode, whether or not it's a shooter, or if it's an RPG. I still like the first-person ones. I always played all my Bethesda games in first-person. I loved Bioshock.
Still haven't
I
played
like
that game.
Bioshock.
You
Haven't
haven't
played
played
Bioshock.
Bioshock yet?
Have you played Bioshock 2?
No.
That's okay. So yeah,
Listen,
I really
played
like
Bioshock
first
2.
person. I really like first person games. I like games that have a good assortment of weapons to use. Like one of the first games that I ever played with, played all the way through and with a lot of regularity thereafter was Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and throughout the campaign for Return to Castle Wolfenstein, you pick up something like every number was assigned a weapon, so there were 10 different weapon categories, and then underneath those, some of them had 3 different weapons, like the submachine guns. You had the MP40, the Thompson submachine gun, and the Sten submachine gun, so like there were way more than 10 weapons to pick from. And it had a fun storyline. So I like games with storyline, and I like games with first person. So I think that's probably one of the big reasons I tend toward the Elder Scrolls as much as I do.
Well, yeah, story is pretty important to me. Of course, it depends on the game. There's some games like, I don't know, friggin' puzzle games. I don't need story for puzzle games. Just give me the puzzles. Let me solve them. I don't need a story to go along with it.
I like those. You don't like the Zeldas with that? Solving puzzles and
Okay,
story?
puzzles... okay, the puzzles are part of the Zelda game. They're not all the entire Zelda game. I'm talking about specific, like... If, like, you're playing on your phone and you have a puzzle game, you don't need a story for it.
Fair enough.
You don't need to know that some scientific laboratory dropped off this caterpillar and you need to solve puzzles to feed it candy.
No, just tell me what I have to do to solve the puzzles, and that's it.
So you want it to solve the puzzles for you?
What? No, what? No, not...
So does Portal, is that a game that is more puzzle or more story?
Ooh, that's a
I
good
think
one.
I think it's more puzzle that just... to me, Portal doesn't really have a story, essentially.
What?
No, he's right. Portal 1 didn't have much story.
Uh,
It was all
I-
about the puzzles.
I actually can't say that because I have never fully played through. I've seen you play Portal 1, Tristan. I've actually never played through it myself.
Yeah, Portal doesn't really have a story. It's more you're going through this place and you're kind of learning about it and you're getting information from GLaDOS, but at the same time you're forming your own picture in your head of what has gone down in there.
Portal 2 Portal 2 painted more of a picture of an actual story.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of a story, but I just don't think the Portal series really is story based. It's definitely more puzzle based, and then it's just kind of more environment based.
I mean, you're not playing through a story in Portal, I'll agree with that, but they're definitely telling you a story as you're playing.
Which is actually
the story of what happened to this company.
It's a great way to do a game. That's why it's so great.
Aha.
On a Portal, I would say, other than obviously like GLaDOS and Portal 2, the other robot, I can't remember what he is.
Wesley?
Wesley?
No. Wheatley.
So,
God,
other than those two characters, I'd say the best part of Portal is just the environment.
The environment was a lot of fun. I mean, like, to this day, my friends and I still quote Cave Johnson whenever we're in each other's company.
I haven't beaten Portal 2, though. I got stuck. And I meant to look up how to get by it, because there's no way I'm going to figure it out.
Really?
Yeah, I've looked everywhere. I'm like, I don't know how to do this at all.
Wow.
And that's the first time I've been able to get through everything else from Portal and Portal 2 up until that.
Longest I've gotten stuck on Portal was about a half hour to 45 minutes. And it was when I was doing multiplayer with a friend.
Scary?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder you got stuck.
Yes. I figured it out, though. It just took a while. Did you play the multiplayer?
Yes, I played all the way through it.
So it was the one where you had to launch, you both had to launch yourselves and impact in the air to stop each other.
Yes, I remember that one.
That took me a little bit to get that.
The timing, you got to talk and get the timing down so that you don't impact each other and miss the platform.
Yeah, that was extremely tricky, but we got it, and that game was so much fun. I absolutely loved it.
My partner kept dropping me down holes.
Tristan, you said you like Bioshock.
I do.
Between Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite, how would you rate them?
I haven't finished Infinite. I started playing it a while back, but I didn't go very far just yet, which is not to say I didn't like it. But I would say that of the ones that I've played all the way through, I like the original Bioshock the best.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved the storyline in that one, the characterization, and just all the twists and turns that the story takes. It was definitely one of the most fun and inventive stories I played through. What I like about all of them, though, is the level design, the setting, the artwork was amazing to me. Just because you get in, you start playing, and you feel like you've been transported back to the 1950s. They got the music, they got the propaganda, they got the accents, they got the way of life going on, and I just thought that it was a story that was really well presented, that you could get into it and feel like you were in it,
Yes, the environment is definitely a huge factor in Bioshock.
Yes.
Immersive. It was immersive.
Very immersive.
And I should have, going into this, I should have said, would you kindly tell us your thoughts on Bioshock?
Yes, master. Would you kindly kill the
bleep?
Well, I would say I like Bioshock 2. Bioshock 2 sometimes gets grief from people. I don't know why. Matt317 actually has the same problem. He thinks that Bioshock 2 is underrated. But I would say it's probably my third favorite after Bioshock Infinite, and then Bioshock is number one for me.
Yeah, Bioshock 2, I've heard, was alright. I've heard that it was a very good game if it wasn't Bioshock. People say, if they had taken the same storyline and the same mechanics but not said it was a Bioshock game. I hear that about other games too. A lot of people say that. My friend has recently said that about one of the Silent Hill games anniversary or whatever.
Didn't
Silent Hill Homecoming?
Weren't they going to come out with the Silent Hill that didn't it have the one guy from The Walking Dead? He was going to be on there, and then they canceled it.
Wow, I hadn't heard about that.
Where the heck did you pull this information from?
I'm not saying he's wrong. I just hadn't heard it.
There was some. It might not have been Silent Hill. It might have been a different horror game. And it was supposed to have the one guy from Walking Dead, the guy who has like the crossbow, and like he was supposed to be like the main character, but I haven't heard anything about it. I think it might have gotten canceled.
No, I think he's right. Silent Hill with Daryl Dixon.
Boom!
Silent Hill, the franchise isn't dead, but Silent Hill, the game, is. Konami revealed the CNET sister site GameSpot Monday video game collaboration between legendary video game designers Hideo Kojima and director Guillermo del Toro and The Walking Dead actor Norman Reedus has been officially cancelled.
Aww.
Yeah, apparently it was going to be a Silent Hill game where you played as Norman Reedus.
Yep.
Who was reprising his role as Daryl from The Walking Dead.
So I'm not blowing
Bleep.
out of my
bleep.
Actually, I don't know if he was reprising his role or not. He was the character model, though. Norman Reedus was the character, the guy they modeled the character after, and I believe he would have voiced him, but it doesn't. Okay. My dreams of walking around Silent Hill as Daryl Dixon, destroying horrific creatures with my trusty crossbow are all but dead. But it doesn't say that he's actually Daryl. So, he might have had a different name. Just been played by Norman Reedus.
What? Everyone would know that it was that character.
Oh, well,
essentially.
yes. I'm just trying to leave room that, they might not have called him Daryl.
Yeah, they probably weren't going to, but they get the people that likes The Walking Dead. Like, I know that guy. I love that guy.
Maybe they would call him Lirad and made his name backwards.
My name is Daryl Lirad. Your last name is your first name backwards? No. No, it's not. Shut up. Oh.
Alright. Well, I think we should probably wrap up.
Definitely.
Tristan, you can sign us off.
Thank you for listening to the 52nd one-year anniversary episode of the Player 4 Podcast. This is the Player 4 Podcast.
And next week we might have a special podcast for hitting 1 year. We might be doing it live.
The Year in a Day podcast next week.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have our missing piece to the podcast.
The good old
missing piece.
Yeah, I don't know. If we bring him on here while he's still sick, he might give us his cooties and we might...
It's the podcast plague.
Podcast plague.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, buddy.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Well, I mean, with some creative editing, that should be pretty good.